Good evening. The Philippine government describes China's latest offense in the West Philippine Sea as a serious escalation in a string of illegal activities within the country's territories. In a palace briefing, Defense Secretary Gibo Teodoro says China disregarded international law, adding that China's latest aggression is a serious escalation of its illegal activities.
The Philippine government views the latest aggression by China as a blatant violation of international law. This is a serious escalation of the illegal activities conducted by the Chinese government in the West Philippine Sea in complete disregard of any norm or convention of international law.
According to Teodoro, the Philippines' top officials are currently engaging in serious discussions about the collision in Ayungin Shoal. Teodoro says Department of Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo has summoned Chinese Ambassador to the Philippines Wang Shilian to condemn China's actions. He adds that Philippine Ambassador to China Jaime Flor Cruz has likewise been instructed to convey the same message to the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs. President Bongbong Marcos has instructed the Philippine Coast Guard to investigate the incident as mandated by international maritime laws.
The Chinese government is deliberately obfuscating the truth. The use by China of brute force behind disingenuous facades necessitates this course of action.
Several senators denounced the collision of a Philippine resupply boat and a China Coast Guard ship in the West Philippine Sea. The Philippines was conducting a regular resupply mission to BRP Sierra Madre when a China Coast Guard ship made dangerous blocking maneuvers, causing it to collide with the Philippine resupply boat. In a statement, Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri commends the Philippine Coast Guard and Armed Forces of the Philippines for displaying courage and restraint in continuing their resupply missions despite the hostile and treacherous acts of the CCG and their maritime militia. He also urges the CCG to respect human lives and to abide by the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea and other international laws governing safe maritime travel. Senator Francis Tolentino says the incident showed China's continued disregard of the rules of international law and basic maritime safety and should be investigated under these laws. For his part, Senator Jinggoy Estrada calls China's actions toward the AFP resupply boat as reckless and hostile behavior, adding that it shows lack of respect for the lives of Filipinos. Meanwhile, Senator Risa Ontiveros says that China does not have the right to drive away Philippine vessels conducting maritime operations in its own territory. The Philippines on Monday has filed a diplomatic protest against China over the incident. China once again calls on the Philippines to fulfill its supposed promise to tow away the grounded warship BRP Sierra Madre from Ayungin Shoal as soon as possible. In a statement on Monday, the Chinese embassy says Deputy Chief of Mission Zhao Zhiyong met with Department of Foreign Affairs Assistant Secretary Eileen Mendiola Rao. This comes after Chinese vessels hit a Philippine boat on a regular resupply operation to the BRP Sierra Madre on Sunday. According to the Chinese embassy, Zhao urges the Philippines anew to take seriously China's grave concerns and honor its promise. He also asks the Philippines to stop its, quote, provocations, dangerous moves, and attacks against China. The Deputy Chief of Mission also calls to remove, quote, the illegally grounded warship to maintain peace and stability in the disputed waters. President Bongbong Marcos has previously said he was not aware of the Philippine government's supposed promise to remove the BRP Sierra Madre from Ayungin. He also said he rescinds such agreement if it ever did exist. The rusting vessel has been serving as a military outpost in an area claimed by Beijing despite being within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone in the West Philippine Sea. The China Coast Guard releases its own videos of the recent vessel collision in the West Philippine Sea. Videos released by the China Coast Guard show its vessel blocking a Philippine boat supplying forces in the West Philippine Sea. In a statement, China Coast Guard spokesperson Gan Yu insists that the Philippines entered China's waters without permission, disregarding Beijing's repeated dissuasion and warnings. He also claims the Philippine vessels, quote, approached the Chinese side in an unsafe manner in disregard of stern warnings and caused a collision. Meanwhile, Defense Secretary Gibo Teodoro says the Philippine government views the latest aggression by China as a blatant violation of international law, calling it a serious escalation of illegal activities. On Sunday, Chinese vessels collided with a Philippine boat on a resupply mission to BRP Sierra Madre. The Department of Foreign Affairs says the Philippine government completely disassociates itself from former Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr.'s controversial remark on Palestinian children. In a now-deleted post, Locsin said that, quote, Palestinian children should be killed because they might grow up to become as gullible as innocent Palestinians, letting Hamas launch rockets at Israel. According to DFA spokesperson Teresita Daza, Locsin's statement was, quote, made in a strictly personal capacity. The Philippines special envoy to China earlier clarified that the remark was only a sarcastic response to another post, adding that he immediately deleted it as he realized it could be misconstrued and retweeted to incite. In a post on X, Locsin apologized to those who did misconstrue his sentiments and got triggered, saying he obviously was not advocating for the literal death of anyone. Solons scolded the former Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board employee Jeffrey Tumbado for claiming corruption on a whim after he admitted that he implicated a former official out of his ill feelings. Tumbado earlier tagged suspended LTFRB's chairperson Teofilo Guadis III as part of a scheme where they were seeking money in exchange for franchises and alteration of routes. Tumbado later recanted his allegations. At the House Committee on Transportation's hearing on Monday, Tumbado says transport groups had approached him to ask for his help facilitating franchise applications, hence his hunch that corruption exists. However, he admits that he had no direct knowledge about Guadis being directly involved in corruption schemes. Parañaque's 2nd District Representative Gus Tambunting then asks Tumbado why he accused Guadis of being involved in corruption issues within the agency. According to Tumbado, he felt bad towards Guadis as his former boss did not listen to his side during a dispute with another LTFRB executive assistant.
Yung panahon po na yun, masama po ang loob ko sa ginawa niyang hindi sa pagpapakinig o mag-explanation sa kanya bakit ganun na nauwi sa sitwasyon na iyon dahil hindi po ako pinakinggan ni Chairman Guadis para magpaliwanag kung bakit nagkaroon ng issue kami nung kanyang executive assistant po.
At dahil po doon, masama loob nyo, inakusyan si Tony Guadis ng corruption?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yun lang?
Yes.
When asked whether he has evidence to prove that massive corruption is hounding LTFRB, Tumbado says it is just his opinion, leading Tambunting and other lawmakers to question why they would believe the whistleblower. Tumbado was cited for contempt after his different answers to lawmakers' questions.
Nako, boss, mabibigyan mo kami ng opinion nyo na wala kayong preba? Sinayang nyo oras ho ng mga kongresista? Na pumasok ko kami dito, maski na break ho namin. At ano yun, sasabihin nyo, opinion nyo lang. Wala ko kayong preba. Wala kayong pinanghawakang preba.
Again, Your Honor, wala po akong direktang kasabwat si Chairman Guadis sa korupsyon.
Hindi po. Ang tanong ko po, i-release nyo sa recantation nyo si Atty. Guadis ang hepe.
So, sa pangkalahatan po, meron.
Alamin naman natin ang mainit na balita sa mundo ng showbiz kasama si Irvin Santiago ng Bandera. Irvin?
Hi Neil at sa lahat ng mga kabandera natin all over the universe. Ito na nga ang latest Bandera Chika. Super happy ngayon si Piolo Pascual kahit wala siyang jowa. Pero bukas pa rin naman ang kanyang puso sa pagkakaroon ng katuwang sa buhay. Ayon sa kapamilya actor TV host, puro trabaho pa rin daw ang nasa isip niya kahit malapit na siyang mag-47. at hindi nga niya priority ang magkaroon ng girlfriend. Sabi ni Papa P, wala siyang planong mag-slow down sa work dahil napakarami pa niyang kailangan at gustong gawin sa kanyang showbiz career. Kabilang na nga riyan ang paggawa at pagpoproduce ng pelikula. Wala mang karelasyon ngayon si Piolo ay patuloy pa rin ang mga chika tungkol sa kanila ng aktres na si Shaina Magdayaw. Kamakailan ay nachismis pa nga na nabuntis niya ang sisteraka ni Vina Morales. Pinagtawanan lang ng rumored couple ang chismis dahil wala naman talaga itong katotohanan. Kung sakaling araw na pregnant si Shaina ay hindi raw niya ito itatago sa publiko. Tungkol naman sa tunay na estado ng relasyon nila ni Shaina, ayon kay Piolo, same-same pa rin sila at walang pressure pagdating sa pagkakaroon ng serious relationship. Abangan na lang daw ng madlang people kung ano ang susunod na mangyayari.
Tignan natin kung saan po anong mangyayari. Kasi, of course, there's pressure in the family, in society. You know, she's good friends with my family. She's always in our celebrations. She was just there, and then let's see. You know, it's just that for now I'm really busy, and it's just something that I don't have any time for. So I don't want to be unfair. But you know, I'm not dating anyway. So what you see when we're together is really how we are.
At yan ang bandera chika natin today. Thanks, Neil.
Maraming salamat, Irvin. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. Department of National Defense calls China's move in the West Philippine Sea a serious escalation of illegal activities. China urges the Philippines to fulfill its supposed promise to tow away the BRP Sierra Madre from Ayungin Shoal as soon as possible. And oil firms to increase fuel prices on Tuesday, October 24. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.